Hi. This video is a bit of a difficult topic for me. Originally, I wasn't going to make a video on this or talk about it at all. That's because of my own personal feelings and issues I still need to work through. But I saw a lot of other people posting about Disability Pride Month, especially other disabled artists, so it inspired me to also share my piece and try to approach this, myself, really, with a different attitude. Maybe get closer to pride or joy and further away from shame and embarrassment, because those are real things I know myself and other disabled people have to deal with at one point or another. First and foremost, what is a disability? The definition of disability, according to Google, is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movements, senses, or activities. A disability can have many forms and definitions. Sometimes you can't even see it from the outside looking in, or if you don't know the person closely, but that doesn't mean it's not a disability. I personally have a disability. Well, technically, I kind of have multiple, but my health conditions interact with each other, so I just think of myself as one little disabled body. Now that you know what a disability is, I will share a little bit about my disabilities and overall health experiences. I have 2 thyroid conditions, a skin condition, a knee condition, a spinal injury, multiple allergies, and I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is the biggest thing that affects my life, honestly. I might have more. Once you get a disorder or a disease, it's not uncommon that more pop up and get added onto the list over time. But to put it all simply, my thyroid condition means that my thyroid is trying to kill me. It doesn't like me very much. For my thyroid, it is on sight. Sometimes it does this by going way too low on the spectrum. Other times it goes way too high on the spectrum. Most of my allergies are to keep my thyroid as happy as possible because certain foods make it more angry than the normal amount of angry. My skin condition is broadly considered eczema, and most of my remaining allergies are to keep that happy. Certain foods will make it react. However, animals, soaps, makeup, lotion, chemicals, deodorant, and the weather, and then things I can't remember right now, will also make it react. It gets very dry, very red, and very itchy. My skin has little to no density and will often just crack open and bleed on its own. My knee condition happened because my legs either grew too fast or I'm missing a tendon. I can't remember exactly, but basically, if I run or jump or walk too fast, my tendons will just be crushed by the bones in my knee, and it will feel very not good. So I can't do any of those activities. Spinal injury isn't crazy. My neck was just messed up for a while, and it will probably hurt forever in the future. It will also probably cause horrible migraines. Simple. Allergies are mostly related to keeping my other conditions as good as they can be. Still not perfect, but a little better. There are only a couple that I'm actually just allergic to. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS, means that my heart beats too fast with little to no activity at all. Like if I stand up or walk around for more than 10 minutes or do more involved activity, my understanding, all the excess blood gets stuck in my limbs, mainly my legs, making it very difficult for me to walk or stand, especially for extended periods of time. Other things happen with it too, but I don't really want to get into all the specifics. This is meant to be a simple explanation. Other main takeaways from this condition are general fatigue and little to no energy at all. This condition greatly affects my mobility. Treatment. I use mobility aids like crutches and a wheelchair depending on how bad I've been feeling, or my menstrual cycle, because I'm a woman, and whether or not I'm having a flare-up. A flare-up is when one or more of my conditions react to an activity I did. A hormonal shift, i.e. my menstrual cycle changes, or just because they decided they wanted to make my day harder. Flare-ups can happen randomly, seemingly with no cause. I also take medication and use compression stockings, which do help with the blood and walking. I also use a back brace because I cannot support myself on my own for more than an hour or so, approximately. I would also like to take a moment to say that just because someone is using a mobility aid, for example a wheelchair, that does not mean they can't move their legs or walk ever. Disabilities all look different, and things can change day to day. Different activities also require different kinds of aid. It depends on a lot of factors. I have also one last thing to say about this segment. The medication side is stressful. Side effects are the worst and concerning, especially if you're treating your nervous system. And I'm still trying to figure things out. Additionally, the compression stockings, while helpful, are not comfortable in the slightest, and I don't really like them. They are difficult to get on, and having to put them on myself and put on my back brace, which causes skin problems and everything else, just to be able to walk around and move for 5 to 10 minutes at a time on my own, makes me feel a lot of things. Not very good ones, but I know I can't change the situation, and it's important to help me move safer. Mental health. I also have PTSD, which can be considered a disability. Mental disabilities are just as real as physical ones, but having chronic illnesses on their own can cause a lot of mental health battles. A lot of it is internal and has to do with self-image issues. Being limited in activity and just having to go to the doctor so frequently, other reasons as well, but more internal issues. Many things that people say or the treatment surrounding people with disabilities really makes it so much worse. It just, at least in my experience, the comments and other things people have to say amplifies everything else that's already such an internal struggle. Some common harmful things people say will be listed on the screen. If you are disabled and have heard something like this, I am so sorry. I can really relate, unfortunately. But I would like to take this opportunity to show you some helpful terminology to use when talking about disabled people. Oh, and I remembered while later in the process of making this video, I do have astigmatism in both eyes, so it makes me super sensitive to light, which is technically another thing. I wanted to cover all the bases because I'd like to use this video to just send to people if I ever meet anyone in the future going forward that cares, because it'll be an easy explanation, and not only do I not like talking about this very much, but it's just hard for me to remember everything. I may or may not have memory problems. I'm still looking into that. I might get more conditions in the future, but like you can see, it's already hard for me to remember everything. I just don't have anyone right now. I don't have anyone to look at me and tell me that it's okay, or to give me a hug, which I've really been needing. There's just nobody to hold my hand and say that they're gonna stay. I have to go through all these tests and appointments, and after my body's been put through so much pain and passing out or not being able to move, just laying there waiting in the doctor's office building somewhere, in the lobby, or downstairs on a bench by the elevator, or just in my car in the parking lot. Okay, I'm trying to be real and honest and explain my side of things where I'm at this Disability Pride Month. I want to feel better about everything, but a lot of times I don't. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to know more, I can try and share more about my experiences. As always, here is some art I made. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.